Hello, everybody. It's Ron and Des. Hello, Desiree.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
I feel like we were just working together not very long ago.
I know. What show did we just do?
Hey, this is Fox 10 Talks, and we are glad you are with us this morning. We got plenty to talk about, including the data center drama. One of our top reporters who was out there yesterday digging into why are they building a data center right in the middle of Ahwatukee. We're going to find out about that from our Jacob Luthi. We also, coming up today on FTT, now we find out the judge won't decide apparently for weeks about the Tyler Robinson case. Why is that? And what is a Python challenge, Des? We've been fascinated by this story since we first heard about it.
I don't know. It sounds like nothing I'd want to take part in, but, I'll spectate.
Right? Yeah, we'd both be great spectators.
Right.
And then what about this new trend of using AI to end relationships?
Oh.
Surely there are some better ways to go. So thanks for starting your 10 a.m. hour with us here. We are bringing Jacob Luthi to the microphone today. Now, Jacob, this is your first time joining us on FTT Live.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is my first time here. It's great to be with you both.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Glad to have you in.
Friday.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we'll do, I think, is we're going to play Jacob's story from yesterday, and then we'll visit about it. But there's a growing controversy over the idea of putting a data center right in the middle of Ahwatukee. So that's coming up right now, as a matter of fact. Here, hold on here one sec. We are going to go to, this is SOT 1. Here we go.
What is in there for us? Diminished values? Would you like to buy a house 150 feet away from the data center?
Anna Marshall has lived in her Ahwatukee home since 2017. She says she never expected a proposed data center would one day be planned right behind her house.
What it brings is noise pollution, right? Air pollution.
According to Menlo Digital, the proposed 38-acre campus would include 5 buildings and a dedicated on-site electrical substation. In a statement to Fox 10, SRP says the developer would pay the full upfront cost of that infrastructure, and the project won't increase rates for other customers.
It is a dead zone in an otherwise vibrant community.
Last week, the Phoenix City Council cleared a hurdle to prepare the site for future development, with Mayor Kate Gallego acknowledging Phoenix's role in the industry.
The number of data centers in this community makes us one of the epicenters in the world. The greater Phoenix area has one of the highest concentrations of data centers anywhere.
Craig Evans with the Ahwatukee Community Alliance says they're worried about potential heat, noise, and air quality impacts. They aren't opposed to data centers themselves, but question why a facility of this size belongs so close to homes.
It's 5 imposing structures, tightly packed that nobody can get in and out of. You're not going to have traffic flowing through it. It's not a part of the community. It's a tumor on the community.
Menlo Digital says the project's design and engineering phase is complete, but residents argue the land was zoned for standard commercial use, not an industrial plant.
We are just asking for the commercial facility we all bought our homes next to. That's zone commercial. We should be able to expect another commercial facility to go in there, not a 257 megawatt hyperscale industrial plant.
We didn't have a proper zoning meeting. So my goal is to have a zoning meeting and to have community involved and let the community decide.
Okay, Jacob, you spent some time out there, obviously, talking to people about all this.
Yeah, and I think that last part is the most important part to take away from these residents. Again, they're not talking about being against data centers fully. They're not talking about not wanting them. They understand their uses. I think their biggest argument is that one, it's that close to homes. They're worried about their home values maybe going down. Maybe someone doesn't want to live next to that. It's a busy street right there. There's apartments on either side. There's doctor's offices. This is going to be an air-cooled facility. That's going to take a lot of fans so that's a lot of noise. Again, that noise impact they're worried about. They're wondering why it had to be placed right there. I think that's their biggest concern. That wasn't already a commercial area. There's commercial buildings right where that, it's about a 40-acre lot is. Right next to that are other commercial buildings. So again, that's their biggest conversation. They're more worried about the difference between whether there's going to be a difference in retail space for commercial use versus a data center which has all those fans going, it's generating that much power. I mean, like it was mentioned, the SRP is going to have a substation right there. They're saying rates aren't going to go up for other customers, but that substation is going to be right there. It's a lot of power being generated in that building, and so the heat that might come off of that, that's kind of what they're worried about.
Mm-hmm. What kind of fight do you think they have ahead of them? I mean, if the argument is, well, it was zoned for commercial use and data centers fall under that.
Yeah. That was my question yesterday. I think the biggest thing that they also told me, they want to see it somehow council go through a rezoning process for this. They want to make sure, and if you're going to rezone it, make sure that those studies are being done on the noise impacts that now these data centers have to go through in the city of Phoenix, the heat impacts, so and so. Those were new laws that were passed last year, and they want to see not them grandfathered into that, but maybe re-looked at for rezoning purposes. That's their argument. Also, they want to hear directly from Menlo Digital. They want to hear, I didn't hear back yesterday. I reached out to them just for their take. Maybe they have an answer to some of these residents' concerns. They have some, hey, this is how we're going to cool this facility. This is how we're going to make sure that residents aren't disturbed by the noise. They want to hear directly from them, and they also want, some questions answered by their city council, who they're saying haven't been very responsive to them. And so,
what about the timing on it all? I mean, do they still have time to fight this? My impression was that the developer felt like we've done what we have to do. It's full steam ahead on our end.
Exactly, and that's where the issue they're running into right now is that they. Maybe a couple years ago, when this was going through the process, and it went through the process, maybe weren't involved, and they weren't, in tune with what was being placed there. Once they started seeing those fences go up, once they started seeing what was there get torn down, then they start, when you're living 150 feet away, when you hear that construction noise, that's what the lady I spoke to in that interview, she's saying, being woken up at 3 a.m. to, lights being thrown on and construction. I mean, obviously anybody who's lived near a construction area knows how, what a nuisance it could be. But that's probably what got them to start, recognizing that, hey, something's popping up here. And I mean, when we think about the Phoenix metro area, I mean, we talk about, some reports I was reading, somewhere within 5 or 6 in the nation for these data centers.
Oh, I gotta believe it.
I mean,
it's going up so fast.
Exactly.
Okay, Jacob, great report.
Thank you.
It turns out this is going to be our poll question today. So, Des, let's jump right into it here. Tech experts say data centers are essential for the future of AI. How worried are you? 7% say, really not. Let's get to work and build as many as we can to keep up with the incredible demand for AI. But more than 50% say, yeah, you know what? These companies should keep building, but can't you just go a little further out of town? Go 50 miles outside of the city, that type of a thing. But then the other option is stop construction now. Shut down any of these future data centers and let them figure it out.
And then here on YouTube, we have 345 votes on the poll question so far this morning. 8% of voters here say no, let's go get to work and build as many as we can. 22% say yes, but companies should build them in remote areas out of town. 71% say let's stop the construction now and shut down the data centers kind of all together here.
Dave, what are you seeing?
So many good comments on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Tim in Phoenix says, in Texas, data centers are being built and sending rent prices sky high. I don't want that for AZ. I don't think Arizona needs more data centers. Aren't we number one in the world for most data centers anyway? Dottie Gonzalez in Mayor says data centers need to go away. Too much water usage, too much electricity, and the heat they put off is insane. Not good for any city or town. And Sharon B7K6Z agrees, saying big problem, the amount of water they use for cooling. People are really fired up about this one. Keep the comments coming, guys.
Okay, Big D, thanks very much for that. And I guess Des and
Thank
Jacob,
you.
this is maybe part of why they're talking about building data centers in space, right? There's nobody up there in space who's going to fight again.
Yeah.
As far as we know, there's nobody up there in outer space.
No confirmation yet.
Right.
But then what are the concerns there?
Right.
There's always questions that need to be answered before they pop up anywhere.
And the last thing I want to say, there was a study from ASU from May that talked about there's a downwind air temperature increase. They found about 4 degrees here in the Phoenix metro area from these data centers.
Really?
So when, these residents raise concerns about maybe rates going up, they're not necessarily talking about because of the energy that's being used by the building to generate their power. They're talking about when the temperature goes up 4 degrees in their neighborhood, or even 1 or 2 degrees, that might force them to then pay a higher bill because now they're running their AC.
Makes
That's
putting
kind
more
of
pressure on their AC units. And makes sense.
All right, thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, on to this next story here. Have you seen this video, Des? I feel like almost on a daily basis we see these videos of criminals in action, and this guy, this boneheaded dude right here, check this out. Look at him. He walks up to a church. He's got all his patriotic gear on, like Go USA or whatever. He is literally ripping the metal, the gutters, right off the church.
Not very nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is in St. Louis, Missouri, and the St. Louis County Police Department. Apparently, this particular fellow had no idea that he was on camera. But
the camera's got such a good angle and view of him. I'd find it hard to believe that camera wasn't
visible to him. I know. Look, he's walking around. He's like, I think I'm pulling up. But look at, the camera's actually following him.
Wow.
So
and he continues just beating up this gutter.
Oh my gosh.
Stepping on it, not folding it.
Yep. So this
look at he's even cleaning it up from the scene here. Just
it's in the suburb of Fenton, Missouri, and it was the St. Louis County Police Department that offered that video. And let's hope they catch him, because it was a pretty good image. I'll say that much for sure. Feel like taking a break?
Yeah, let's do it. It is 10:12 already this morning, you guys. Is this our mystery cam?
I think it is, Des.
Where could this be? Get your guesses in.
All right, there's your Mystery Cam preview. We will let you put your guesses in as we get on toward 10:30. But boy, there's still a lot to talk about. And Des, Trenton's been doing such a good job for us this week.
Thank you guys.
Even the cases that the country, I think, is hyper focused on, and this is one of them, that it can get honestly kind of dry. Particularly when you're arguing over, like yesterday, Trenton, they were arguing over seconds. Like, when is this video going to start? When is it going to stop? What are we including? What are we not including?
Yeah.
Right. You have the prosecution and defense that really wants to get into the weeds of everything.
Right.
Yes.
As much as they can.
Right. And as we mentioned earlier in the week, I mean, the defense team, Robinson's attorneys, now there's some high-profile players on there. You have one who defended one of the Menendez brothers, Lyle Menendez, in '93. They were the infamous twin brothers who were accused of killing their parents in 1991, Beverly Hills. And then he represented Eric Rudolph, the Atlanta Olympics bomber. So he's been in this territory plenty of times before judges, and you can tell that he's taking on at least the judge's time on the bench. And I've heard the legal experts that we've talked to. We had Josh Colesrud yesterday. A lot of them are saying, I mean, this is reflective in what we're seeing, where the judge has been on the bench. He was appointed, I believe, in May of 2025 by Governor Spencer Cox, but has actually been on the bench really the end of August and September of last year. So less than a year.
So less than a year on the bench.
Yeah. It's certainly not a capital murder case coming before him with that.
Right.
So you're seeing all these objections over minutia details, like you mentioned, Ron, seconds and even frames of what can be shown, and then, which is interesting because both sides have agreed, okay, well, here's the evidence that we want to present in court. We don't necessarily have the objections on certain parts, but then coming in and really trying to at least throw a wrench to slow this down, where this is supposed to be just an evidentiary hearing. This isn't a trial. This is just to go through it. A lot of misconceptions there when we saw Lance Twiggs yesterday of why didn't the defense team get the opportunity to cross-examine him when they did the other witnesses, and that could potentially be a cause for that to be thrown out further down the line. But the experts I've talked to, attorneys, have said that is not the standard for an evidentiary hearing. You do not have the right to cross-examine each one of the witnesses as they're presented. It's more, you have the option if they're there with the evidence as it comes about.
Okay. So I mean, this is in place of a grand jury. Correct.
Right, exactly.
That's normally how it's done. I know they were going for the ultimate transparency here, but in a grand jury, you're just basically just trying to make a quick argument in front of a panel that says, this is what we think we have in terms of our case. What do you think, yes or no?
Yeah, and the burden of proof is so much lower.
Yes.
In that case.
And would it even typically last 5 days, like we're seeing this one?
It depends on how much evidence
on the
they
case
have.
and how much evidence.
Right, and how they feel they've met that threshold. Now, everybody's kind of said that, Monday, at least, we met that standard with having the basis of, did he have the premeditation to do this? Now, the big kerfluffle this morning was the judge saying that the media can no longer film any of the exhibits that are up on the screen for the viewers in the gallery to come and see that. There was an incident yesterday where they were going through the ballistics evidence, talking about the gun, the bullet, etc., and for a brief moment, the team of the prosecutors, they flicked on, and it showed the most damning, I think, piece of evidence. It's the actual note that Tyler Robinson left for his roommate, ex-lover Lance Twiggs, in their apartment before he went to Orem, Utah, to allegedly kill Charlie Kirk. So
and that was not
flashed
supposed
up.
To be shown.
Yeah, it was 3.5 seconds, but we're in the days of the internet. Everybody's a
3
sleuth.
seconds is long enough to capture a clear image of it.
And it was all there, the whole paragraph.
Tell us about the sound that you brought with you today.
Yes, so this is how they ended yesterday. The defense was calling in their 2 experts they were going to have to talk about what the ballistics were showing. The first person, she's an ATF agent who handled the gun when it was found really offside campus in the wooded area that was about a quarter mile from where the shooting took place, and that it was in a box wrapped in this towel we've heard a lot about that had the DNA allegedly from Robinson and then Twiggs. It also had bullet casings with messages on them. Yeah. Right. And then after that, we'll hear from the judge himself about when he's going to make a decision.
Exhibit 19.
This is the cartridge case that was recovered from the gun.
And what position was this in the gun?
This was this is what was in the chamber.
Okay. And the chamber meaning that's where a cartridge is before or when it is fired, correct?
Yes.
Do you notice an inscription or an etching on this cartridge case?
Yes, I do.
Will you read what that says?
Yes. Notices bulge.
And if we can go down to page 2 of the exhibit, will you read what this says?
OWO, what's?
And to page 3?
This.
And question mark, correct?
Yes, question mark.
Effective immediately, members of the media shall no longer capture or broadcast any exhibits displayed by the parties during today's proceedings. The court finds this sanction to be proportional and appropriate in light of the violation of the court's prior order. The court reserves this sanction as it relates to September 1st. It is not before the court. There has not been a request for electronic media coverage, and the court won't issue a pre-ruling. When it becomes, that request has been filed and all the deadlines which the court has imposed in regards to the MC filing are in place, if motions are filed, the court will entertain motions in brief argument ahead of the September 1st hearing and address it at that time.
Okay.
September 1st. That's when we're going to find out where are we at.
Honestly, that was as big a bombshell as I've heard so far this week, that we all have to wait till September. It's just, I'm not sure how much more he is going to dig into it. Does he want to go back and look at transcripts? I guess we don't know.
Well, and on the other side of this, that could be the judge's motivation is this is a very complex capital murder case, and we're talking about burden of proof this morning with the grand jury, what has to be presented to them. But during the trial, I mean, the stakes are so much higher as opposed to just getting life in prison sentence that you want to have. They have the death penalty on the table, so there has to be a lot of those extenuating circumstances established. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, the other thing I just wanted to point out very quickly is that you heard a lot from the Kirk family attorney. They've been going before the judge, filing objections about different things, but the biggest part that they're asking for is that all of the evidence is presented to the media, that the public can see this. Now, why this is important, and if you're asking why are we hearing so much from the family attorney, well, Utah just passed a law. It's really effective July 1st, so right in this that we're having.
Just came into play.
Yes, where victims per Utah law, have a right in court to have their say in how the trial is and be at least up to date with the information as far as what the prosecution has, what the defense has, just as much as a defendant would be in this case. So you hear those objections. They're wanting the judge to, hey, give us our say too, judge. But he's kind of rebuffed them each time that they've made those in this case. Certainly with what he ruled on this morning. So didn't weigh in.
Trenton, thank you. Hey, by the way, it's snake season here in Arizona, shifting gears. And I'm telling you, when it comes to rattlers here in Arizona, some of the catches, if you want to call it that, are really quite incredible. We spent some time yesterday.
Hopefully no pythons.
Yeah, good God.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
See how big those were?
It's taking back my childhood with the Anaconda movie.
This is firefighter Rocky Craig snatching a snake with a grabber, tosses it into the bucket, and then look how resilient these snakes are. Watch this. About 40 feet down the hill, and the next thing you know, they're still slithering around all the rest. So I do think that is it's another sign of what's going on in the summertime here in Arizona. Speaking of summertime, do you guys think, so there's this story now about temperatures in the office. And apparently it's like really blowing up lately in terms of where people want the temp to be. And so, Dave, what is our current temp here in the studio? Do you know?
Dave, you look cold.
Yeah, you looked cold.
Okay. Is that an accurate representation of what it usually is in the studio?
Are you cold in here, Dave?
Yeah.
You know, it has a nice brisk breeze.
So, yes, he's a little cold.
What do you know what to usually you are cold in the studio and usually I'm hot. Like I'm hot right now. It's 69 degrees in here. You can probably see little beads of sweat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't mind the cold. It's just that for some reason in the studio, it depends where you're sitting, but the vent is literally blowing it directly on me. So that's the difference.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can be okay in a cooler environment, but it's the blowing.
Right.
Like at night, like if you sleep with the fan on, I'm opposed to that. I don't want to feel the breeze.
Oh, really?
I just want the,
So
the
who wins
temperature
that
to be
argument,
cool.
Des, you or David? He wants
do
the
you
fan
think?
on? Yeah,
think?
naturally,
Yeah.
it's you.
What do you guys like?
Well, I'm not going to comment. I know my wife's watching, and that is a current issue of contention in the Hooker household. But I do find it interesting, at least in the Fox 10 studios, that in our newsroom, that it makes sense. The AM crew likes it not as cold as it happens, but as the day goes on and we're baking 115 degrees, it's still set.
Correct.
Heat in the morning, and we just die.
It's too hot.
We're like, whoa, what's going on? But it's lovely.
Well, Ron would be, probably with the morning or the evening.
He would
crew time.
jump
You
ship.
like it cold.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm an
Cold.
evening guy working in the mornings. I don't know. I mean, I go home and I'm hot too. It really doesn't matter whether I'm here in the studio or anything else. But
Well, and I think us ladies too, we're in. Look at the attire.
Yes. That was part of the
This is
story.
Like, oh my gosh, how do you strike the happy
Makes sense.
balance?
That was a big part of the story, is that clothing is different today than it was, say, 20 or 30 years ago.
Sure.
Generally, it's less.
In the good old days when we
world.
wear a three-piece wool suit in Arizona.
Did you come in on Monday with a vest? Trenching?
Yes, absolutely. And a scarf.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you got the tie, so your shirt's all nice and,
Yeah.
Sweating in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, you guys. Now it's all cloudy in our Mystery Camp City. Time for some guesses. Okay, so we do have a few ground rules when it comes to the mystery cam. One is we ask that you don't, do your Google camera because it'll just tell you.
Yeah, no cheating.
Yeah.
Right?
On the other hand, you can stare at
clues.
this picture.
Yeah.
Like I was staring, Des, at the building, the gray building with all the cars parked right in front of it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, maybe there's a clue right there.
Oh, did you catch a name?
I
off
did.
Of it?
You want to know what it is?
What does it say?
It says medical center.
Oh.
I don't think that gives anything
That's
away.
not helpful.
Oh, my gosh. So, anyway, I do. Now, first of all, Thomas Favola is hilarious. He first jumps in and says Cork, which, of course, is in Ireland. And I've been to
You've been there.
Part of Ireland. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have a road that's a mile straight anywhere in the entire country. It's a lot of winding, curvy roads.
Really?
So I'm keeping it here in the USA, and I think I'm going to go.
There's a lot of guesses today.
I think I'm going to go into the upper Midwest. I'm going to say a Minnesota or a Wisconsin.
Yeah?
I'm going to go Wisconsin.
I think I'm going to go with Deborah and go Indiana.
Okay. Some of our other guesses, Mike Lewis, one of our favorite viewers around here. He's guessing Virginia. And Linda is over there in Tennessee. Or
Yes.
she actually lives in Thatcher, but she's guessing Tennessee. So, Des.
Yep.
I don't know. You used to live in Tennessee. Do you want to change your vote? No?
I don't know. Watch it probably is. Paul Humphrey, we had a Delaware and Iowa from Burger Boy as well. So let's see what it is.
All right.
It is, Augusta, Georgia.
You are kidding me. Go back to it here, just for one moment here.
Okay.
I love Augusta, Georgia. Have you ever...
Did anyone guess? Right. I don't think
not
anyone
that I
got
saw.
it.
Have you ever gone over to Anaheim and driven around Disneyland and just tried to peek inside? You can't, right?
It's a fortress around that
It's
thing.
a total fortress with shrubs.
Yeah.
With shrubs and bushes. You can't see anything.
I know.
So
It's
we were on a
amazing what a great
vacation
hedgerow
back
will
there
do.
many years ago, and I said to Renee, well, let's drive around. I mean, they don't let you in. It's
Right.
like the most
Oh,
exclusive
yeah.
golf club on the planet. And we drove around that entire thing, and you can't get one peek of the greatest golf course in America. You just can't see it. So anyway, it's off to the, I don't know, left or right or somewhere there. But that part of Georgia really is beautiful. That's
Well,
for
you know
sure.
what? They make drones now, so if you could take it out there, go get a peek. I know. I'm just kidding. I don't recommend that.
Actually, not a bad idea. Hey, let's talk about what's been going on in the world. We want to make sure we cover those stories for you as well. Some of the latest info on this plot, apparently, that had been put together by the Iranians in terms of, and I don't know if you saw some of the pictures that came in from the protest. Here's President Trump. There he is on Air Force One. The big story was, well, why did he fly in on the new Air Force One, but he flew out on the old Air Force One? And now there's multiple reports saying that CIA and Secret Service were just concerned that it didn't have enough protection in case the Iranians had any idea of trying to take down Air Force One. Now, first of all, could you imagine if something like that happened? Oh, my gosh.
No. I would imagine, though, they have to plan for that and have plans in place, but also they do everything they can that's in our power to make sure that does not happen.
Right.
And obviously, after he switched planes, to come back home from the summit in NATO, now we're learning of this assassination plot. It definitely has, I think, a lot of us wondering, were they well aware of that? Was that the reason why he didn't take the plane that was gifted to him?
And I hate to say it, but Turkey is in that part of the world.
Yeah.
Not that far from Iran.
Right.
Iranians have already proven they have missiles that can fly that far.
Right.
So somebody raised the alarm bells, and better safe than sorry, obviously. In the meantime, they held a big news conference today at the Department of Justice. Now that they're digging into this plot to try to infiltrate the UFC event on the South Lawn, that they do believe they were specifically going to try to kill the president. and the vice president, because they were both going to be there, as well as other attendees as well. When they stepped to the microphone and started spelling it out, I think a lot of people listened to it and, probably said how serious it was.
The indictment charges all 8 men with 2 conspiracy counts. The first count is a conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists by way of money, firearms, ammunition, body armor, explosives, drones, medical and communications equipment, as well as personnel, with the knowledge and intent that those resources were to be used in preparation for and to carry out the murder of federal officers and employees in the course of an attack on a federal facility and the use of a weapon of mass destruction. The indictment details several overt acts allegedly committed by the defendants in May and June of this year, including acquiring and maintaining firearms, ammunition and body armor, meeting to train in marksmanship and combat tactics, meeting to provide firearms and other gear to each other, purchasing a 3D printer to make drones, making plans to travel together to Washington, D.C., and actually beginning travel to Washington, D.C. The allegations in this indictment, we allege, show that these men were not simply airing grievances from behind their keyboards and sharing like-minded political ideologies. Rather, they took action to carry out a plot to attack the UFC Freedom 250 event and to murder federal officials at the highest levels of our government.
Okay. So,
wow.
Once they start laying it out, you hear these stories when they first come in, and you're like, well, that sounds pretty serious. Mm-hmm. But then if they had actually, as he said, they had embarked on their way to Washington. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just talk, in a bar or in somebody's backyard. It was full-on planning and plotting.
You're right. It's incredible to learn, right, how far within their plan that they were able to get, which is still unsettling. It was, in their eyes, obviously going to be a well-organized type of attack.
Yeah. Okay, 1037, we are going to follow a story that we have been following for you for many months, which is what's to become, if anything, of the ESA program in Arizona. And Des, I think you and I were both interested when we heard that John Riches might be available over there at the Goldwater Institute. It hasn't been making big headlines, but there has been a major legal battle that's been unfolding over the last short period of time.
Yeah, John, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You were one of the attorneys involved in this case, and I'm sure parents that utilize the ESA program here in Arizona, they maybe have been following this case closely, but this is actually a victory over the AG, Chris Mays here. Kind of walk us through what this case was and, spell that out for us before we kind of get into more of our conversation here.
Yeah, sure thing. So obviously the idea behind the ESA program is to give parents and their kids choices for the school options that work best for them. And so a lot of parents choose to homeschool their kids or put them in programs where the students got to buy them school supplies and things like that, even if they're at a traditional school. So the ESA program allows parents to make purchases for things like books and pencils and erasers. Well, the Attorney General, going back a couple years now, sent a demand to the State Board of Education, or to the State Department of Education, where she said that for every item that's obviously educational, a thing like a book or a pencil or markers, the parents have to include a specific curriculum documentation for each of those purchases. So that was a problem because state law doesn't allow that. Their legal theory was really thin, but more importantly, it was really just an attempt to gum up the ESA program, make it harder for parents to use it because the Attorney General is opposed to it. So we got involved and we represented a couple ESA families challenging the Attorney General's demand.
All right, so how did it unfold and why do you think you were victorious?
Well, I think we were victorious because the law didn't support what the AG was trying to do. She was trying to tell these homeschooling parents who have enough to worry about that they got to go jump through all these bureaucratic hoops every time they buy a box of erasers. And state law doesn't support that. There's this thing called the ESA handbook, which helps ESA families navigate the program. It specifically says that the state can't make these sort of demands. So the AG's position was unsupported by the law. And, you know, it's kind of problematic because why was she making it more difficult for these hardworking families? Was it just to advance her own views about the ESA program, her own ideological agenda? So that was a problem from our perspective, and that's why we brought suit. And we were glad to see that the AG has now pulled back this onerous demand on our ESA families.
Yeah. And well, we are getting ready to wind down summer vacation here. Students will be going back to school soon. So what immediate changes, if any, do parents utilizing the program need to know about?
So parents that use the program to make purchases for these sorts of things, they're called supplemental materials, books, pencils, erasers, desks, things like that. They no longer have to include a curriculum document for every single one of these purchases. Instead, they're just going to be able to go to the website and click a checkbox that says they are ESA families. These materials are used to educate their kids, and that's it. So it'll make it much easier for them, as opposed to what the Attorney General was demanding, which was, problematic and onerous and a pain.
So, for example, because there's so much controversy around this program, let's say a family purchases a piano and then they say, this is to be utilized for music lessons. Is a purchase like that still seen as acceptable here after this legal win?
That's what was so wild about this particular demand. It had nothing to do with big ticket items like a piece of musical equipment or, a large piece of like sports gear or something like that. It was limited only to what are called general educational materials. And there's a list of these. There's about 25 of them. And it's things like, it literally is books, pencils, erasers, markers, bookcases. It's things that everybody agrees are obviously educational. It doesn't include some of these things that I've heard reports about. So,
John,
not the big ticket items. So, okay, John, we have to go to a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back with you. So, to finish up.
Perfect.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us through the break here. This was a beautiful shot that we were sitting on, Ron.
No
Love
kidding.
that.
Look at those Adirondack chairs. Somebody's got the fire all set for tonight for s'mores.
Looks like there's a lot of fish in that water to be caught.
Yeah, it does.
We just need our fishermen at the end of the pier there.
Yep.
All right, let's finish up our conversation here with John Riches. So, John, just to wrap up what you were saying, this didn't include some of those big ticket items like that. This was for obviously ESA, school tuition fees, curriculum, textbooks, tutoring services, and whatnot. So this didn't include those big ticket items you were mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if she's got a concern with those sorts of things, she should target those sorts of things and go after actual bad actors. She shouldn't be targeting hardworking homeschooling parents and others that are just trying to educate their kids and get through the day.
Can you take one step back? I mean, nothing happens in a vacuum. We are in a political season here. It looks like this may ultimately end up being an issue that goes to the voters in November. Why has it, as you have, looked at this, why has it become so much more controversial in the last year or two?
I think the sad reality is there's a lot of enemies of school choice out there. There's a lot of vested interest about the status quo. There's a lot of entities and teachers' unions that want to just keep the status quo to protect their own interests. And the reality with school choice is that empowers parents. So it allows parents to make the choice that best works for their kids. And those that are profiting from the current system don't like that. They want to keep the current system. So that's why you see these sort of cut by 1,000 death attacks on the program. It's not because they care about kids. It's because they care about protecting their own vested interests.
Yeah, except representing the other side of that argument is we have public schools that are closing. We have teachers that are losing their jobs. What about that?
Well, I mean, the thing is that if a student wants to go to a public school, they absolutely should. If their neighborhood school works for them, that's great. But if they don't, if they're not working, if they're failing, if they're not educating kids, if they're not producing kids who can read or do basic arithmetic, there's got to be alternatives for kids. And school choice and the ESA program allows for those alternatives. And we should all want that because we should all want what's best for our families and the educational choices that work for them.
Okay.
All right. John, Vice President for Litigation at Goldwater Institute. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, John. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate both having me on. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
John.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, so we continue on now with some other very interesting stories. And Des, I don't ever actually plan, even though I'm kind of the halfway unofficial mayor of Mesa, I don't actually plan to ever run for any office. But I can
are
promise,
you sure?
Yeah, I can promise you one thing.
Record that. We can go back to this. But well, okay.
No, I used to say jokingly, just make me governor. I'll fix that I-10 from here to Tucson, and then that's it. That'll be my whole platform.
Maybe we can appoint you governor for a month. Do you think you can get that done in a month? And then when you're done, you're like pass the baton.
Yeah, if it was up to me, just bring the bulldozers out on Monday and start making that third lane. Anyway, this may be one of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen a city council member. Now, just watch here. So this is a Zoom. Mm-hmm. And it's from the North Ayrshire Council. But look over to the lower right of your screen. One of the city council members, Des, zoomed in while driving. Can you see him there? That's the guy right there. I mean, I'm glad he's having a nice drive and everything, but all the other council members were like, dude.
This isn't the first time we've seen a video like this, too. Remember, I don't know what case it was and who was involved. Remember, there was someone had a court date and an appearance with the judge, and they zoomed in and they were driving. It was for a traffic violation.
Oh, yes.
That one was pretty funny.
Right. The judge is like, lady.
This is funny, too. Come on. You can't be a council member doing this. Maybe he thinks it's okay because I'm hands-free.
Huh?
I'm not
he's
on
not
my
on
phone.
His phone. That's true. It's mounted somewhere,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Bad idea.
The North Ayrshire Council member, his name is Jim Montgomery, and the other people on the Zoom call were like, come on, buddy.
So did they boot him off?
I think they did tell him to. Well, you know what they
Join
did?
us
They
later.
told him
We'll
knock
wait till you
this
get
off And he said, I don't care what you say. I'm staying with the meeting, and I'm driving even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Oh, my goodness. He should have shut his camera off at the very least.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right, so there's a story out today, Des, about people breaking up, and I guess if we peered into the future, it would make sense that something like this would happen. Mm-hmm. But they're now using AI to break up with their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other. Right?
Ouch.
Yeah. 41% of younger adults say they have used AI to write breakup texts or apologies or navigate the conflicts in their relationship. And some say they just, whatever AI tells them is what they do. And others say, they use it for advice and then follow the advice.
But the disturbing part of that study was also the fact that there was a pretty high percentage of people that said they trust AI more for that advice, relationship advice too in general, than like friends or family.
That's right.
I don't know.
Okay, so one of the segments we do every once in a while around here is we ask AI.
Oh.
It's not quite ready yet. Hold on.
What are we asking it today?
Let me know if you have the, what am I looking for? Graphics 3. Don't try.
Well, and I love how here on our notes too, you put any breakup stories? Question mark.
Does
anyone got any good ones?
Anybody have a good breakup story?
You don't have to drop any names.
Okay, here we go. Des, look at that.
Oh,
Let's
love that.
ask AI. So here's what we do.
Let's do it.
We're going to go, let's just see how this works here. I think I've kind of figured it out, but ready. Hello, are you there?
Right here with you.
Okay, so we were looking at a story about how people are using AI to break up with their boyfriends, girlfriends, others in relationships, etc. And we thought that was kind of... I know. We thought it was kind of dumb, but I'm glad you're with me so far here. What are 4 better ways to break up with someone instead of using AI? I know I'm asking AI, but you got what I'm saying.
Right there with you. Yeah. A human-to-human breakup. First option, just have an in-person conversation. Take a quiet moment, be clear, and be kind. Second option, if it's long distance or for some reason you can't do it in person, have a video call. That way you're still face-to-face. It's direct, but also respectful. Third option, a phone call if video isn't possible. You can speak from the heart and really listen. And the fourth option, if safety or severe anxiety is in the mix, it may be a brief, honest message that's in your own words, and don't use tech as a shield. The theme is just own your words, be compassionate, and let them respond. No scripts, no AI filter, just human to human, as you said.
Okay, I changed my answer. This is creepy. She actually gave good advice.
She gave really good advice. That is the best Let's Ask AI I think that we've done so far.
You know, and I can see if you're a person that does not, that you just, you don't have a way of words or you're not well with words.
Right,
I guess
you get nervous in situations like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, interesing.
I don't know.
Ron, I mean... not to throw any daggers at you or anything, but in your time, you've never used AI to break up with anybody.
No, that's true. I happily married for more than 40 years.
Well, but I'm saying prior to even getting married, though, because it just wasn't around. So how did you?
Here's my one piece of advice on that, because I asked Des if she had any stories,
I've
or
got
asked
a story.
Dave. Oh, you do? Okay, go.
I can keep it short.
I want to hear it.
I was in a relationship with. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Like someone I actually thought I could potentially marry.
Okay.
Before I met my amazing husband, which everything works out the way it's supposed to. But we were in a relationship for more than a year, almost 2 years, and literally he just up and ghosts me.
Really?
Yes.
All of a sudden, no text, no nothing,
no nothing,
no calls,
no nothing. Spent how much time with this person on a daily basis? Literally, text them the next day. I wake up, hey, how you doing? Nothing.
Okay.
A week later, 2 weeks later, a month later. I'm like actually genuinely concerned. I reach out to his family. Have you heard from him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was the oddest thing. I won't say anymore because but it was literally just disappeared on me.
Did you ever get back in touch or did you ever bump into him or any of that bit?
Nope, I'm glad I haven't.
Well, you're a long way from Buffalo now, so you
long way from Buffalo now. Yeah. How about you? What's your advice on that?
For me, it was in my radio DJ days back in the 70s. There was a girl I'd been dating for quite a while, and but it was a long distance thing.
Oh, those are hard.
I know, because I was DJing in Spokane and she was living in my hometown of Wenatchee, which is like a 3-hour drive. And so she broke up with me. She's like, this is too hard and I want to see other people. And I was so heartbroken. I remember leaving the next day, getting in my car right at sunrise and driving the 3 hours back to Spokane to do my radio show. And I was so bummed out. But you know what?
What?
It was like 2 months later that I met Renee.
Oh,
see, I think if that does happen and you then find the person you're meant to be with.
Yeah. I think it's okay to be devastated about a relationship ending in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever that is. That moment can last a week or whatever it may be. But you're right. Right. I met David. You met Renee. Like, oh my gosh. It just, those breakups were the best thing to happen to us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? Anyone else got some juicy stories back there? Dave?
We asked Dave if he wanted to log in with a
Abby. Abby was like, I can't out anybody.
We just love each other too much here. Can't do it.
See, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at maybe 8 years from now, the next governor of Arizona.
Oh, God.
There's a movie, I probably shouldn't even say the name of it. It stars Charles Durning as the governor of Texas. The movie is called The Best Little Blank in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And he does a whole dance song routine called I Love to Do a Little Sidestep.
Oh.
And it's the most hilarious thing. Fellow Texans. Anyway, that's for another day.
That's the one thing I'm not tolerating in a relationship. No sidestepping.
Yeah.
I'd rather you break up with me no matter how harsh that could be.
It is hilarious. He was an amazing actor. But you know what, Des?
Yeah.
This is proof again. Now we're down to 68 degrees and I'm sweating like crazy on this topic.
Okay, see, and I'm comfortable. I'm pretty cool in here still.
Okay. Should we clear out of here for Ty and Danielle?
Yeah, they are up next, and they got a good show for you lined up, you guys. So.
Yeah, we do.
And then we'll be back after that.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Here they come.
Oh, yeah, come to find out.
Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend, Danielle.
We did.
Slowly but surely, we finally
I woke up this
crawled
morning
our way to
and
Friday.
I was like, I gotta sleep. I need some sleep.
Well, you've
We've
been working
met that
hard.
Quota. I know, yeah.
Double
it's been
duty
fun.
all week, so
Yeah,
we
it's been
appreciate
fun.
you filling in with us.
No problem.
Let's get into some of our top stories, and this is kind of a wild story that happened over the holiday weekend in the Newport area. I don't know if you've seen this video.
I
Look
have,
at this.
yeah. And I actually have a lot of friends with, they rent houses there. I mean, it is huge, the 4th of July, with a lot of, the people I talk to and hang out with. It's just a big deal. So they were all, before all this happened, social media were posting about it and just watching it, and everybody is just beside themselves because of what happened there. So as we know, hundreds of arrests and citations were issued because of all of those crowds that turned violent. Visitors from Arizona topped the list of offenders out there.
107 Arizonans were arrested when police declared it an unlawful assembly. It just got out of control. There was 108 Californians, and then Nevada, there was 22 individuals from Nevada. So the city manager there at Newport Beach says he is considering reaching out to leadership here in Arizona directly about the issue. What exactly they'll be able to do, who knows?
Yeah.
But these images, obviously, it's just inappropriate and kind of wild that people went to California acting a fool.
Yeah, I know he was also pointing the finger at some social media influencers because I know there was a lot of back and forth about people kind of, telling people to go and
Kind
do
of
some
start
crazy
a
things.
ruckus, right?
Yeah,
There was somebody
exactly.
saying who's ready to take over Newport, I guess, were some of the claims that people were putting on TikTok. So just kind of wild to see that. So hopefully that never happens again. All right, let's talk about those data centers. Obviously, AI is kind of the wave of the future. So in order to power those, you need these big plants. And there is evidently one that is supposed to be coming to Ahwatukee. And now neighbors are getting pretty upset that this could potentially be their next door neighbor.
Yes, because neighbors are saying that they're worried that this massive facility will completely disrupt their community and permanently hurt their quality of life. So the proposed center would be built near 48th Street and the Thistle Landing Drive. That is there in Phoenix, in Ahwatukee. And the proposed 38-acre campus would include 5 buildings and a dedicated on-site electrical substation. Craig Evans with the Ahwatukee Community Alliance, he was saying that they're worried about the potential heat, noise, air quality impacts, so the stress that they're opposed to the data center themselves, but question what a facility of this size is being planned so close to homes, why it's being planned.
So we did get a statement to Fox 10. SRP says that the developer would pay the full upfront cost of that infrastructure, adding that the project will not increase rates for other customers. So that's what's going on. But we've seen this kind of all over the country. More and more folks are kind of not wanting these big data centers in their neighborhood. And we've seen people talking about water issues. They've been talking about noise pollution. It's just kind of this like low hum, which would be kind of annoying. So yeah.
And it is really close to the homes there if you know that area very well.
All right, last but not least, I saved this one for you, Danielle. Special for you.
So speaking of Ahwatukee, I am in Ahwatukee and on the mountain there, and these guys and girls
They're
are everywhere. Yeah, I think last year I counted 7 rattlesnakes.
Did you really? On your property?
Yep.
7?
Yes. You want to come stay?
No.
Come on, come be a guest.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so it's definitely a very scary situation out there. And typically they'll leave you alone. You don't really got to go near them. But me with a 6-year-old is not fun when in the backyard.
Yeah, so a lot of these police, or rather fire departments, are saying they're getting a lot of calls this time of the year. So they're saying basically, just look where you're walking. Look where you're walking the dog. Look in those corners. That's where you're going to find these rattlers. They say just be careful. And if you do need to, call 911 or the non-emergency line, really, and they'll help you kind of remove that and get them where they need to be. All right, real quick, let's take a look at what you are watching, or rather what you are. Oops, wrong button.
Oops.
I don't know which button I'm supposed to push. We'll just pretend we pushed the right button. This is like what you're reading. These are the top stories on our website.
Fox10phoenix.com. You guys can see here, Chandler Doctor, he has been arrested on multiple allegations of sexual assault of a patient. That happened out of Chandler, and he was arrested at his home, we believe, in Gilbert. I believe in the article there was 2 separate victims that have come forward. All right, and this one is kind of interesting. Costco hit with a lawsuit alleging that their protein powder sold there in stores contain dangerous levels of lead and arsenic. So there's a class action lawsuit now for Costco. And in this one, CDC... There we go. People living in the Southwest
need to be aware of dust storms that stir up dangerous fungal spores. And we talk about this every monsoon.
Valley fever.
The
And
valley
I think,
fever.
too, animals and dogs. You know, I think it's alarming for us humans and our pets. It's just not good all around.
All right, so if you have been watching the news lately,
Also not good.
Right. This story has been going viral.
Yeah.
It's called cyclosporiasis. And basically, I guess the bottom line is a lot of people are freaked out about this because it gives you explosive diarrhea.
Yay.
So it's not good. So we wanted to bring in our favorite medical guest here, Dr. Natasha Bhuyan, to kind of, I guess, cut through all of this. Is this something that we really should be worried about, or are we just kind of hyping this up in the headlines?
Well, we should be vigilant. So cyclosporiasis is basically a parasitic intestinal infection, causes really unpleasant symptoms. So people who get it, they end up having watery, loose diarrhea, sometimes forceful, explosive abdominal pain, loss of appetite. The thing we really worry about, though, is when people end up getting dehydration from getting this. So we should be vigilant. Now, how does it actually spread? It does spread through fruits and vegetables. It's through fresh produce. And so things like blackberries, raspberries, even things like cilantro, fresh basil, those mixed salad bags. So not the heads of lettuce, but those salad bags. If you don't wash them, it can spread. And so we should be vigilant. And really, the most important thing that we need to do is wash our produce because those parasites can live on the produce.
Now, is this parasites coming from animals? Like animal droppings, I know, when they're farmed and things like that, or is it
generally from the dirt? So this is really different than other foodborne illnesses because a lot of other foodborne illnesses are actually in meat and it's parasites that come from animals. This one's unique because it's actually in produce, so it's a little bit different. But the thing that's unique about it too is that things like alcohol-based hand sanitizer, that doesn't work against it. And so you really have to wash your hands with soap and water before handling the food. And then even washing produce, it's good advice, but even when you wash the produce, think of raspberries and blackberries. They've got little crevices in them. The parasite can still live in the crevices, so you have to really scrub to make sure you're getting rid of that dirt and contamination.
Do we know where the source is coming from?
So this particular outbreak, it's interesting because officials don't know. Every summer we do see some cyclosporiasis. It's actually very typical in the summer because in the summertime people are eating more imported fruits and vegetables. But this year there's been a lot more cases than usual. Health officials are trying to trace exactly why, and it's likely multiple different sources that are the outbreak.
And how long does it last? Also, can you transfer it person to person?
Good news is you cannot transfer it person to person.
Okay.
So that is different than things like norovirus or other viruses that people get. It's a parasitic infection, so that is good. Now, in terms of how it lasts, it's really unique because for some people, they get it for a few days, they can clear it on their own, and they're better. For other people, you get it for a few days, they seem to get better, the parasite is still in your intestine, and then they get symptoms again. So people will sometimes have these waxing and waning of symptoms. And so we tell people if you are having, diarrhea for more than a couple of days, see your primary care doctor because we can test for it and we can treat it.
So let's talk about, because we did a story not too long ago and they were saying that Michigan was seeing a ton of these cases. Is that just because doctors in Michigan are doing more testing? Like we looked at a map and it didn't say we had anything here, but you were saying that probably is here, but we just haven't tested for it.
So we actually do. So it's interesting. The CDC surveillance data doesn't show any cases in Arizona, but if you look at Arizona Department of Health, we actually do have 10 cases in Arizona. The cases are likely undercounted because not everybody who gets an infection actually gets tested. So we likely have more cases here than we realize. And now in certain places, there's much more of an outbreak. Sure, the doctors are testing for it more in those places because they're vigilant, but truly what it means is that more of their produce must have this parasite, and that's why it's spreading in certain targeted regions. In the past, when we've done traces of this, you'll end up finding it in places like, okay, this fruit came from Mexico, that's the source. And so we really have to figure out what are the multiple sources of these infections.
So what should, we were just talking to Crystal and she was saying her daughter, I think she's 2, she's a berry fiend. So should parents stop giving their kids fresh fruits and veggies, or I guess what should we be doing?
It's really a matter of weighing risks and benefits. What I think is that it's much more important to actually eat fruits and vegetables because the health benefits of fruits and vegetables far outweigh the small risk of the infection. That being said, we need to be smart about it. We need to wash our produce. At the same time, simply washing your produce doesn't 100% guarantee that you'll get rid of all of the parasite. And so really the only thing that gets rid of the parasite is actually cooking. And so that heat does get rid of it. But for a lot of fruits, people eat these things raw. They're not really cooking them unless you're making a fruit pie.
We had a question in the chat here. Thomas Brown asks, are home gardens impacted by this?
Less likely, because generally when there's a parasite outbreak, it tends to be in a concentrated area. So generally it's not from home gardens.
Let me ask you this. I had salad last night.
Ooh. No wonder you've been gone all day.
No, but on it says ready to eat, wash, ready to eat. Would you, with this going on right now, would you
what I'd
double
say
wash?
Is if it's triple washed, you don't need to wash those bags of salads. But if it's anything besides triple washed, you should wash that bag of salad, because that's actually one of the source outbreaks we've seen in the past.
And you mentioned there are treatment options, or what are those?
It's interesting because there's actually an antibiotic that you can use called Bactrim that treats this. Even though it's not a bacterial infection, the antibiotic does work against it. And so you just have to get tested. Now, the thing is, typical stool cultures don't catch this. And so as doctors, we have to actually order a specialized stool culture, but when we see people have it, we can treat them for it. The other thing that we've also been thinking about in my practice is that if somebody has this and it's very likely that this is the infection, we can just treat them empirically with antibiotics, not necessarily needing testing constantly.
But this could also get fairly dangerous, because you were talking about dehydration. When you just can't keep anything down or basically in your body, that's when you could lead to some pretty serious issues, right?
Exactly, yeah. So people have been hospitalized for this. There has not been any deaths this year, but the reason people are hospitalized is because they just lose so much fluid. They don't have much of an appetite. They're not keeping anything down. And so it is important anytime that you have diarrhea that you're drinking a lot of electrolytes.
So is this, I mean, we sometimes see these types of things pop up. Is this kind of worrisome for you as a physician, or is this kind of something that we're like, we'll get over it? It'll hopefully we find the source and can stop it?
We see it seasonally. So I think the most important thing is that we let public health officials do their job. And so make sure that they're tracing, make sure that we're all being vigilant, we have awareness. And hopefully if we find these sources, we're able to eradicate that parasite. And hopefully there's not as many cases as in the future, but it's really just about being vigilant, washing your hands, washing your produce, and being cautious.
All right. Well, Dr. Bhuyan, as always, we appreciate you coming in.
We're now scared.
Yeah, we're now scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm just going to eat frozen meals, lean cuisines for the rest of the year.
Please eat fruits and vegetables.
Hungry Giant, or what's the other one?
Yeah, I was like...
Lumberjack meal.
All right. Natasha, if you want to stay and play with us, this is our game we play every day. What year was it?
Let's do it.
Here it is. Here it comes. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. The Medal of Honor was created. Oh, I have no idea.
I'm going to be embarrassed even trying to answer this question.
How about the 40s?
Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and say...
You got 5 seconds.
The 80s.
I'm going to say 1965. I'm
okay,
just guessing.
There we go. All right, welcome back. This is the question of the day. What year was it the Medal of Honor was created? This one really stumped me. I really had no idea.
We have a couple guesses that are way far away from each other. 1903, and then we also have 1952.
And the answer is... Oh. Oops, hold on.
Not that.
Hold on. Graphics 4. That was Graphics 4. Maybe this button? Hold on.
1862.
We were way off.
Oh, boy.
I would have not won that one.
We were just little twinkles in the sky at that point.
We sure were. Oh, there you go. So give yourself some credit if you got that today, because that was a hard one.
That was really hard.
All right, moving along, you guys. We have some pretty exciting news, and we here on Fox 10 on the morning show were the first to tell you about this very exciting new venture happening at the Desert Botanical Gardens, which, by the way, one of my favorite places in the Valley.
It is so pretty. I know you really you like the plant sale.
Oh, the plant sale at
that happens.
Desert Botanical Garden is
and I usually
phenomenal.
go and cover it, so I'm looking what you're gonna get.
If you have guests from out of town,
it's really fun.
Desert Botanical Garden is always a great place to take them.
And you would think, like, oh, just cactus and this and that, but no, it's gorgeous.
And now they have even more, you guys.
Yes.
A restaurant, a brand new restaurant called the Quail House. So joining us this morning, we have Chris Kline. He is the president and CEO of the Desert Botanical Garden. And then Mark Tarbell, who really needs no introduction. You know him. He's been around the Valley forever with a whole bunch of great restaurants. Both of you, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Chris, I want to start with you. Talk about what this means to have a restaurateur like Mr. Tarbell opening his next restaurant within your grounds there.
Yeah, we're so excited. And like both of you, it sounds like you both spent some time here. We have 100 plus acres of desert trails to wander, events, music, but the one thing we constantly heard was this would be just a little bit better if I could have my latte, if I could have my iced tea, if I could have my gelato. And that was the dream of creating Quail House Coffee and Creamery, which we're hoping to put shovels in the ground next week on and bring it to life for everybody at home by the time we head into the fall season and temperatures start to come down.
Yeah, I was going to say everything is better with caffeine.
Right?
Just throw some caffeine on it and it's a party. The Quail House, the name, did you guys come up with that? Because we've both been to the property and there is a lot of quail and they're so cute. They're always, going around the property.
Yeah, that was exactly the vision, just walking around the trails and walking around our own backyards, right? We see not just the quails, but especially this time of year, the little quail babies that follow, and it just makes you feel excited for the desert. It's something that we wanted to really tug at the heart for. And so Quail House Coffee and Creamery was a really easy brand to get behind. And in our logo, we actually have some quail in the logo, just to make it a little more fun and endearing.
Mr. Tarbell, I wanted to ask you, what was it like? I mean, because obviously you've opened so many restaurants here in the Valley. What is it like to take on a new venture like this from the ground up?
Well, like you, I'm a huge fan and always have been of Desert Botanical Garden. And being asked to be involved was just an honor. And what was better is just getting to know everybody here and all the amazing people that are down here and the collaboration attitude they have toward everything. So, and their vision is just to be great and to be better every year and do wonderful things. So I love being around that energy, and Chris has been amazing and his team. So for me, it's just an opportunity to express something that I wasn't able to before. We really want to represent the Southwest, native flavors, and really show not only visitors from the Valley, but people from all over the world that come here something really special.
And you all may or may not know this, but this is our second venture with the Tarbell team. They came in and took over our Gertrude's restaurant last fall. And so this is a natural extension of the partnership for us, where beyond the full service sit down restaurant, we now get to introduce the community to something wholly different.
Round and go.
That's awesome. Talk about the menu. What is going to be on the menu there?
Well, first we lead with coffee, all, cold coffee, iced coffees, of course, matchas, things like that, things that I love. And then gelato. This is not, we don't serve gelato here now, but we will be in a big way. We'll have some classic flavors, but we also want to explore some of the desert-inspired flavors in the gelato. And with that, our culinary team is working hard to just do some really elevated grab and go, representing flavors of the Southwest. We currently have a tostada or with noble bread and Arizona honey, organic honey that's been whipped in some ricotta with some fig and some toasted hemp seed. We're going to do wrap-ups, rolls, salads, lots of different things. We're going to keep it flowing, but it'll all be easy, grab and go, and fresh.
Mark was showing it off to us this morning. If you were watching your morning show, people were watching your morning show, you saw some of it, but it was really hard not to reach over and just want to grab a little bite of it.
Well, none of it went to waste. I just want you to know that.
Good thing I wasn't there. And any coffee in sight is mine.
Right?
Grabbing it all.
Well, we're looking at some kind of renderings of what this is going to look like, and this is beautiful. And you mentioned that you're going to be building this from the ground up. So kind of what is the collaboration like between both of you, the Desert Botanical Garden and you, Mr. Tarbell, to kind of come up with kind of the, I guess, the vibes, the aesthetic that you guys want for your patrons?
You know, it's a shared process. First and foremost, we want it to fit into the garden. And for folks that have been here before, we don't want a standalone facility that's going to look out of place. And so we spent some time working with architects and with construction firms to make sure that as it comes to life, that it looks like it fits in. And what's also exciting is that for those that have been to the garden before, we're putting this coffee shop right in the entryway, which means the minute you walk in the door, you're going to get access to this. It's not going to be a mile down the trail before you can get your coffee. And I think that goes a long way. But then obviously working with the Tarbell team, we want to make sure that it looks and feels like the quality that they have been known for all of us.
It's been a great collaboration. We get around a table with great architects and designers, and it's been easy. We haven't had any hiccups. I mean, everyone sort of goes, "Yeah, we agree. This is good. Let's take this direction."
And we have a question in the chat, Mark. If you could really quick just tell us about some other concepts that you have, so people can get to know you a little more.
Sure. Well, I have the original Tarbell's, which is on 32nd Street in Camelback in Phoenix. And right next to that, 11 years ago, I started a tavern. It was a place called Sportsman's Fine Wine before that. And we created a tavern and a small shop. And we have a catering company. And then we have some other interesting things we're doing out at the State Farm Stadium with Cardinals and Craft Culinary, where we did a wine bar and tapas bar last year for the wine brand we have called Tarbell Sprinkle Joy. And this year we're going to add 2 pizza places on the club level, and we're doing a menu, an elevated menu option for all of the suites and lofts. And I'll stop there, but we do have a couple of airport restaurants. We have a great partnership with SSP and the city of Phoenix, and we have one in Terminal 3, a tavern, and then we're building a new burger place in Terminal 4 in the Seagates. It'll be open in December.
This is why we partner with the likes of this guy.
He knows what he's doing, right?
I don't sleep.
Neither do we.
Yeah, join the club.
That's why we need you guys. Coffee. Bring it on in.
Chris, I was going to ask real quick, is it going to be open to folks that are only going to the Desert Botanical Gardens, or will folks be able to kind of quickly park and run in and grab a Quail coffee and then leave?
You know, because we're debuting it today, those are great questions that we may not have the answer to yet.
Okay.
But we know that the core purpose is, if you're coming to the garden, we want to give you the opportunity to get your latte or get your tea or get your matcha. But if we are as successful as I think we will be, then there's no limit to what that might look like.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, we're just going to throw this out there, Mr. Tarbell. Danielle and I are great taste testers.
Yes. We're available for work.
Especially when it comes to coffee,
matcha,
and gelato.
Oh, yes.
Well, I can tell you both have an invitation to come in the pre-tasting. We want to make sure it's okay. And we'll need professional tasters like you to make sure it's okay.
Perfect.
You know,
our people will call your people.
Okay.
Ty's people will call your people. I'll just be tagging along.
Well, congratulations, you guys. We can't wait to see the finished product. Real quick, do you have kind of an idea, a window of when you hope this is up and running?
Yes, when the temperatures fall below 100 degrees, our goal is to have Quail House up and running. So October or November.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a little ways away, but that's exciting, you guys.
Hey, we're already in July.
That's true.
Getting towards that middle point of summer.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
On the backside.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much,
guys.
and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, indeed. We like that, to see these businesses continue to flourish and add more new spots around town, right?
And especially, like I said, when it has caffeine involved.
And gelato.
And gelato. What about a scoop of like vanilla gelato?
Have you?
An affogato? Oh,
you're reading my mind.
Delicioso is what that is.
So good. All right, let's take a look at some trending stories here this morning. This is wild. This is happening in Florida, and I just thought these images were crazy because look at that.
It is insane, and of course it's happening in Florida.
Of course,
here.
all the funny headlines always come out of Florida, don't they?
This is the annual Python Challenge. It began in the Everglades. It's a 10-day competition where new seasoned hunters try to catch the most pythons to win the grand prize of $10,000. Would you do it for 10 grand?
No.
Nope.
Look how long that snake is. So the goal is to weed out non-native reptiles, which these Burmese pythons are, and they say it poses a major threat to local wildlife. So they do this each and every year. And I think we had in the story that one guy last year got or in total.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
I think they removed 294 invasive snakes. But look how long that is. That is insane.
Not my kind of competition.
No,
I'll have a coffee drinking competition.
There you go.
How about that?
How about that? That
It's more
sounds
my
a
speed.
lot better. And then, have you tried a Waymo yet?
No. I just can't. I
Why?
don't know why. It's a mental thing. I'm not against them. I'm not. The only thing I do like is that you don't have to talk to anyone.
That's the best part. You get in, you don't talk to anybody, and it drives you to where you're going. I love Waymo. But anyway, they are unveiling new cities. So they're going to start to be in Denver, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Tampa. So they've been here in the Valley for years and years. You know what's so funny? Yesterday I was driving home from work. Hold on, I'll show you this picture. It's not a very good picture, but one of those Tesla taxis was behind me. They're like gold.
Oh, I've seen those.
Isn't that wild?
And the rims are like as big as the tire.
And that's
Yes.
that's not a very good photo. But I was trying to take a picture of it because so I wonder if we're going to maybe be on the Tesla robo-taxi. They're doing some tests.
I did see one yet. I thought it was just a cool Tesla.
Isn't that wild though?
Very wild.
Oh, anyway, so going back to Waymo, they're going to continue to expand. They've obviously been here in the Valley for years. And a lot of people, they're kind of either they love it or they're like you. They're a little afraid to go try
Yeah,
it.
I'm not against it.
I'll go with you.
I'm a little scared.
I'll hold your hand.
But then I have to talk to you.
Ouch.
No, I would love that.
All right.
We'll go to Quail Coffee when they open in a Waymo. Deal.
It all comes back around.
That's right.
Well, hopefully you all had a great week. Danielle and I are back at noon if you want to hang out. And till then, have a great rest of your day.
Well, Fox 10 Talks continues now with Ron and Des at 11:30, and there's a view of hopefully the city experiencing its last 110-plus day for a while.
Do you think that'll really happen?
Well, I'm not saying for the rest of time, or even not even for the rest of July.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying for the
For the
next
rest of the
10
week?
for the next 10 days.
Oh, okay.
Because I think Crystal's saying after the 110 or so today, we should be back into like a 107.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how that sounds so much better?
Let's keep that projection going.
And
stay right there.
Yeah, and then also the possibility, I think, starting Sunday of maybe a little bit of rain. So, anyway, you're very familiar with Phoenix, Arizona. Our buddy Dean Fazzini always pops up another camera or two. Now, this is really interesting. So, this is an inland city in Florida, which we don't talk about very many of those, I guess, other than Orlando and Tallahassee and Gainesville. But, I mean, most of the cities that you talk about in Florida are, of course, the big ones on the water. But I had heard, Des, that Madison, Florida has one of the prettiest courthouse squares anywhere across Florida or throughout the South. That is kind of a cool-looking courthouse.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that looks great. It's almost like, I don't know, some of those trees right there in the front,
Yeah.
by that walkway, that main sidewalk.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a little, I don't know, like northern and tropical, like mixed.
Yes, right?
In one?
Sure.
I don't know.
Now,
'Cause those aren't palm trees.
I'm no architectural expert, but to me it looks like two completely different buildings squashed into one. I mean, look at the
It does.
cupola
Like the
or
style
whatever you
looks
talk. Yeah,
different.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're going to build a traditional tan brick with a red roof kind of courthouse.
Yeah.
And then on the top, we're going to go with something that's kind of like a bright gray.
That, doesn't match.
I know.
And then they got this industrial, like, tower thing right there. What is that?
I know. Somehow they lived through it in Madison, so who are we?
Getting real judgy right now.
We are getting. But anyway, here are a couple other really cool facts. Who does not love the music legend Ray Charles? He grew up in Madison, Florida. And I guess visitors can tour his childhood home. How cool would that be? Makes me want to go listen to some Ray Charles music right now. And one other thing, also, they describe him as the first American hero of World War II, Colin Kelly Jr., celebrated for his heroic acts during Pearl Harbor, also grew up right in this area. So it's a little town with an amazing history.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, so what else is going on, Des?
Oh.
Anything cross your radar screen in the last half hour?
Nope, I was just focused on consuming that protein bar.
Oh, is that what you had?
Yeah.
Okay. I had
a little quiet time.
I had some sprouted bread. Have you ever tried the
that sounds
sprouted
better.
bread?
No. It probably tasted like dry wheat.
A lot of them taste not that great.
Did you find a good one?
I found one that's not too bad.
Okay, what is it?
Do
you know the brand?
Yeah, it's called the Ezekiel, and it has a lot of fans.
Okay.
And me being diabetic, I try to go with the lower
that's true.
carb options.
Yeah.
But a lot of the zero carb breads
Mm-hmm.
that you see in the grocery store,
Mhm.
that is true cardboard.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Ezekiel bread's not bad. And then Dave's bread. Is that, or can you not have that?
No, I mean, I do once
do,
in a while.
from time to
Sure.
time.
Dave's Killer Bread, I love it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
do
not bad.
love that. There are some really interesting stories we thought we would bring to you this morning here. This is what we do in this streaming show. We fill up an hour with all kinds of interesting information. We just did that from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
We had Jacob Luthi on for the very first time. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, talking about that data center that folks are pretty upset about going so
Right.
close to homes there in Portia, Phoenix.
You know what, Des? Let's just pull that poll question up one more time here. This is interesting because a lot of people do have a lot of strong opinions about it here. I didn't give Dave a heads up, so yeah, if you see any more comments you want to pop in, Dave, just give us a thumbs up. But anyway, so they do say that these data centers are the future of AI. I just wonder, though, Des, because miniaturation, can you still hear the theme music? Oh, you don't have headphones on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my IFB in.
Oh, can you hear it? way off in the distance.
Yeah.
It's like the band doesn't want to take a break.
I mean, it's a party on a Friday. Hey.
Right? Yeah, it is a party. Yeah, it is. Anyway, I just wonder, think about how big computers used to be, and now you have so much power in the palm of your hand in a phone. I mean, you go back and you look at what IBM mainframe computers were like in the 60s. I mean, they were like a whole room. And now you have more power literally in a phone. So I just wonder if, they're building these huge buildings, if someday they're going to figure out a way to do it in 1/10 of the size. I just wonder about that. But anyway, so what do you think? Are you worried about it? 9% say, I'm really not worried. AI is the future. Let's get to work and keep building. 53% are saying, yeah, but if these companies would simply build them in remote areas out of town, or the part of Mesa that I live in, way out by Signal Butte Road, there are all these huge data centers that are getting built, and I just feel sorry for people who they're right up, on the other side of their house practically. And I'm like, look, the cities, I don't know. I mean, if they zoned it for that, then I guess that we're stuck with that kind of thing. But it does seem like it would just be a lot smarter to be a little bit further out of town. But anyway, more than 50% of the people say that's the way they feel about it. 38% say stop the construction, shut them down. I don't know what kind of a future that would lead us, but it does show you there's a lot of anger about the way it's being handled right now. So you can grab that QR code, or you can go vote on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. So when we started, I think early on in the morning, we only had about 340 or so votes. So look at that. We've got more than 1,000 now this morning here on YouTube. And 8% of folks are saying, no, let's get to work and build as many of these data centers as we can. 24% say yes, but companies should build them in remote areas out of town. And 67% say yes, stop the construction now and shut down the data centers.
Dave, did you see anything else you wanted to add in here?
I appreciate you asking, and I love that everybody comments on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube, but I have not looked at any more comments.
There you go. That is the most pleasant rejection I've ever had.
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. That was fantastic.
That was a good lead up to nothing. No, I'm just kidding, Dave. I'm joking.
The build-up was amazing.
The build-up was good.
The follow-through, not so much. All right. This Katie Couric story, I think we need to dig into this a little bit more. Dave and I were kind of
quite terrifying, actually. Yeah.
Brainstorming about maybe we could bring on, I don't know, a neurologist or somebody who's a sort of kind of a brain expert.
Yeah.
What's that, Dave?
I said we booked somebody for Monday.
We got somebody booked for Monday.
Oh,
this
cool.
is great.
Who are they with? Banner or
hold on. You have so many good
Des?
questions.
Banner is, oh, right.
He's going to give us
Dave left and right
give us the exact same answer.
We
That's
have
my
Dr. Akash Doshi, MD of Neurology from Abrazo Health. He'll be on at this time on Monday.
Love
Save
it.
the date and time.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, perfect. There we go.
How's that for the perfect follow-through? Yeah. Okay, Des. So anyway, here is the story in a nutshell. For if there's anybody out there who is not familiar with who we're talking about, I mean, she was a superstar on the Today Show, but that was 25 years ago.
Hard to believe it was that long ago.
It is hard to believe it.
Yeah.
This is Katie Couric right here. And she, I think they used to call her America's sweetheart back when everybody loved to watch the Today Show. But then you know what happened, Des? Fox 10 AZAM came around.
Yeah.
And we got a lot more viewers than... No, nationally. I'm just talking about here in Arizona. But anyway, so she experienced... By the way, I used to work at another station. They would fly us back there once a year to hang out with Katie and Bryant.
Really?
Bryant Gumbel.
So you've met her?
Yeah.
Oh, how was she? She seems like
she is
would be pleasant in
super
person.
cool. Bryant was kind of standoffish.
Oh, are you outing him right now?
I mean, whatever. Just call it the
He's
way it was.
watching right now. He's about to jump in the comments.
Bryant, if you've retired here in the Valley, you want to play golf, call me. We'll patch it up.
Make up for that. Yeah.
But Katie was she was just so fun and easy to talk to. Oh, she was really great. Anyway, she went to the University of Virginia. I remember that. We talked about that. Anyway, so we're all concerned because she experienced an episode of what's called transient global amnesia just a few weeks ago. She was at the Aspen Ideas Festival, and I guess they were asking her some questions. I'm not quite sure how it came up, but she suddenly could not remember what year it was. And she could not name the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm. And obviously we know she's an intelligent individual, so those basic things, and those are basic pieces of information anybody should know.
Right.
But the fact that it lasted so long, I think, is the terrifying thing. Because you've done this work for how long? Have you ever had a moment where you kind of go blank?
I don't remember. I don't remember how long I've been doing it.
Well, I don't
no, I'm kidding.
But it happens where you have like a brief moment, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't remember anything. But this is entirely different. Takes it to the next level, and it lasted a very long time. About noon it started, and then until 7 p.m.
7 o'clock, and we take it all for granted. You know, I mean, you have been on the air since 4:30, so you had 1.5 hour break, but basically from 4:30 right till 12 noon. So
yeah.
Kudos to you, Des, and you know who your biggest fan is right there.
Amazing. Oh, Dave.
But we just take it for granted that we can open our mouth and say, you know, and remember things from 40 years ago when the girlfriend dumped me, you know, or your guy like suddenly ghosted you.
Wait, who was that?
Yeah, exactly. But here she is for 7 hours. She's like, I don't know what year I'm in. I don't know who the president is. That's about as far as she went. Mm-hmm. But she appeared weak and dizzy. And so they called an EMT.
And kudos to her husband for kind of noticing that something was off initially.
Right.
You know, I don't think it was anything major, but he said he had noticed that she appeared to be weak and a little bit dizzy after one of the panels she was involved with there, and called for EMTs to come and check her out.
Yeah. Okay, so we are looking into it. Apparently, it happens more often than you think.
Well,
it's just she's high profile, so we're going to take a quick break. But
that time already?
Yeah, already.
Okay.
It's true.
15 seconds.
We can't miss that commercial break.
No. Get that mystery cam up.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Mystery Cam time. So here's what we lately have been doing. Yesterday, Des, remember we showed a random apartment building with a big grassy field in front of it?
Yes.
Remember that one?
Everybody knew where that was besides you, Ron.
Yeah, well.
Right?
No, I did. Remember?
Was that yesterday?
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I guessed Oklahoma.
Did you guess right?
I think I guessed
See,
Oklahoma.
Look at this
right?
is the byproduct of being on for so long.
But anyway, we thought, well, that wasn't generic enough. So then we said, let's find a camera that just has, it's mostly a parking lot with an old-fashioned McDonald's. You know, that's what McDonald's used to look like, with the golden arches over there to the left.
They should bring some of those back because, like, right?
Yeah,
we're all into
they
nostalgia
should.
these days.
Yeah, they really should. So anyway, give us your guesses. We got a lot of nation's midsection kind of things here lately. Des, what are you seeing?
Iowa, Outlaw Dynamo says that's what he thinks the camera is. Linda Monte, Missouri. Louis Gonzalez, Texas or Oklahoma. And Thomas Brown thinks this could be Pennsylvania.
Okay. What do you think?
B. Miguel's up there, Oklahoma. Sure, I'll go Oklahoma.
I am going to go Pennsylvania.
Isn't this crazy that I forget at 10 what our mystery cam was?
Sort of.
What? I don't even remember now. Okay. This one is...
That was yesterday, though.
Coralville, Iowa.
It's Iowa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back. I don't know where Coralville is, but I drove through Des Moines. And if you ever want to see the fanciest state capital in America, go to Des Moines.
Oh, yeah?
Most of them have one dome. These guys have 5.
Oh, wow.
5 domes on one Capitol building.
That's incredible.
TK is over here. TK Kirkland is our guest here for this next segment. How you doing, friend?
I'm magnificent.
Good.
Thanks for
Have you ever been to
Have you
Des
ever been
Moines?
here?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, you
think
travel around. You see the whole country.
Yeah. How far is Des Moines from Chicago?
I think it's quite a ways.
It's quite a ways, yeah. I probably flew over Des Moines. Or when going through Chicago, I saw the sign Des Moines. Exit here, but I kept going.
You should have exited.
Yeah, kept going.
Ever been to Coralville?
No, definitely never been there.
Neither have I. Yeah. Okay. That's
when I first saw that picture pop up, I said to myself, wait, is that a Buc-ee's? Probably not. TK, we just got our first Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Here, you've been to a Buc-ee's?
No, sir.
No.
Well,
you were definitely a Chicago guy then.
No. I was just saying when you said Des Moines, Iowa, but I'm thinking how close is that Chicago? But I'm all over.
Oh, you are. Where's home then?
Yeah, home is actually Vegas and Paris, France.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm in the States. I've been here since the We the Ones tour with Mike Epps. So I had a premiere of my new TV show last week on BET called Lot Patrol. And now I'm doing these cities and about to do a huge movie next month in New Orleans. Can't announce it yet because it's about to be announced, but yeah. So it's been a great year. Great year.
Awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
Originally from Jersey City, though.
Yes.
Okay. We got a New Yorker in the house, our director, Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, what's happening?
What borough are you from again, Ronnie? Manhattan.
Okay, she's one of we call it money making man.
I'm from Buffalo, New York, but
we show you love up there. Rick
James. But she said I don't count as a New Yorker.
No, you count a little bit because you hear Rick James. We'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
Rick James is from Buffalo.
Yeah, from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know,
sure
right? Our one claim to fame. I'm sure there's a couple people.
There's a couple more, but
that's the big one. But you grew up in Compton.
No, didn't grow up in Compton. I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. The reason why I always say I show mad love to Compton is to pay homage to the late Eazy-E.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So I always, because he gave me my first national start.
Yes.
So, and I loved him so much as a person. So I always say Compton by way of Jersey City, New Jersey. And it's a good conversation piece. If people say Compton, I say, no, not from Compton, but everybody in Compton knows me. But it's my way of showing love and respect to one of the greatest friends I think I've ever had in hip-hop.
Because he kind of gave you, I don't want to say your start, but...
No, I was already started, but he took me on my first national tour.
How did that feel at the time? And
well, we didn't know. Like? It was, hip-hop was just getting ready to blow up, and we just didn't know. And to sit here now, to know I was part of history, is such a phenomenal journey, and I want to thank everybody that had anything to do with that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool
Yeah,
to
it's
say
pretty
that
cool.
he was one of your
yes,
closest
it is.
friends.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He could have been a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He's
That funny of
Yeah,
a
he's
guy.
hilarious.
Now, so tell us what brings you to town.
I'm in town now to do one of the greatest stand-up comedy clubs in America, Stand Up Live. And it took me a couple of years because I'm so busy. And then I'm such a hard negotiator on my money that it took a minute for all of us to get back and forth. So when I was ready, they wasn't ready. The money wasn't ready. We went back and forth. I put my foot down. They said, TK, let's go. Bam, and I got here immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're your own agent.
I am my own agent.
That's the way to go.
That's how you stay blessed, keep all the money, and you don't get to be an old man suing people because you wasn't on top of your game early in your career.
That's a good
Right, and you've done a little bit of everything. I mean, movies, shows, you're a comedian, you podcasting, all of it.
Yes,
Why do you think it's important to kind of dip into all of that as an entertainer?
One has to be in your DNA. It has to come organically. I just been truly blessed to go down these different lanes, and when I put my mind to it, it really happens. But this journey has taught me a lot, because in the 90s I actually pursued everything, knocking on the door, and then you had gatekeepers back at that time that even though you had a talent, somebody wouldn't let you through the door because there was a hater, so to speak, blocking the way. And then as time moved on, the world just opened up, and now I can't be stopped, and I'm just taking advantage of it.
You could play Mano's song to that. Bye. We can't sing on here.
Yeah, but that's good that you know that. Shout out to Mano.
And are you excited to be here in Phoenix? Have you performed
Listen,
here?
I am
Has it been
excited.
a while?
I've done it years ago.
Years ago.
But
So
maybe
it's been a
2,
while.
3, 4 years ago. But it's almost sold out, and that's why we want people to make sure that they come see Arizona Zone, because I went to Arizona State. Graduated 1981, 82, back in those days. And I'm excited to be back. The city has changed so much. Because normally I'm chauffeured around or have a driver. I'm actually driving today. And just to see the growth since 19, because everything was just flat land back in the day.
How did you get that chauffeur? Because Des and I would like one too.
Oh, okay. You got to have a platinum credit card.
Okay. Well, when you was talking about negotiating and putting, I'm like, oh, are you for hire? Can we hire you?
Yeah. You know,
my contract's no.
Believe it or not, when I go to radio station, they always tell me that their contract is. I say you should let me handle your negotiation. Have you ever seen the television show Entourage?
Yes.
Okay.
Seen
and
episodes
Ari Gold,
of
the
it.
agent. That's who I am. I close the deal. I'll sit on your roof.
You're like the modern day Tom Cruise. Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. It is what it is, and I'm happy
from Arizona State, by the way.
And I'm happy that I took that path.
Yeah, good.
I really am.
Yeah.
When I look back now and see all the confusion that actors, rappers, singers have all gone through, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Do you give us a little hint at the kind of stuff that really you gravitate to when you're looking for humor? Is it in the everyday life? Do you, as you're just driving around or talking with people, you're like, now that would be a funny bit. Is it like that or what?
It is definitely like that. You know, and now because I'm in my 60s, I'm a senior citizen, I work on stuff like almost moving to assisted living, right? Being president of the Homeowners Association.
Oh, okay,
you know, when I was young, buying women diamonds and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But it's so easy now that you're a senior citizen because all they want is scooters. You know what I'm saying? You know, so to buy a woman
What? We stop wanting diamonds? When does that happen?
Believe it or not, instead of diamonds, you get scratch-off lottery tickets now.
Oh, okay.
You know? Now, believe it or not, it seems funny. Until somebody scratches it off and get $20,000-$30,000.
That's true.
So see, don't look down on it too bad. Because if you're not open-minded, you're like, I don't want no scratch off, but it's always in the luck.
Yeah.
First of all, you do not look 60. At all.
I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up because I was doing some research on you and I was so impressed. I was trying to figure out more of your history.
Yes.
But in 2024, I saw an article, you're 63. So you're 65 now?
Yeah, I'm
Is that right?
66.
You look incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
So like black doesn't crack,
No, it
does
cracks.
it?
I can take you a lot of places
slightly.
with crack.
I'm not seeing it. Like I don't see it.
I'll take you a lot of places it's crack. Oh, no.
So what's your secret?
My secret is and I am resilient to pain and stress. I'm a extremely happy, man. I do what I want to do. I make things happen. I love changing other people's lives. That's something that
awesome.
I look forward to. I've been doing it my whole life since I was a kid. So to change people's lives, to make millionaires, because the people I made, I took on from Mike Epps to D.L. Hughley to Sandra Bullock to Anthony Michael Hall, people that's been under my wing for years, and about to do something else. And I'm just going to keep swinging. You know, I just love it. And I wake up every day with ambition that's unbelievable. Like I go to bed at 8 and 9, but I have to be up by 1 or 2 because I don't want to miss nothing. I'm that to this day. I'm that enthused. I'm that excited about life. Let me go get it done. And when I get up in the morning, go to the airport, I'm like, yo, let's go get them. And I'm still like that to this day.
That's awesome.
So great.
And that's what I'm going to bring to the show on Sunday.
Okay. So it's Sunday.
Sunday, one show, because I have to be in New York.
Tell everybody
Monday
where.
morning. So
Okay.
stand up live,
Stand Up
ladies
Live.
and gentlemen. If you really want someone to inspire you, to make you laugh at the same time, there's no comic like me because of the variables of different subjects I talk about, from getting the LLC and EIN to having life insurance and teaching people about the game, teaching people about things they never taught you in school, but also making it funny and laughed at the same time. You need to be there stand up live this Sunday, 7:30, one show. And if you can't make it, call somebody in the area that they can make it. Tell somebody that knows somebody that got a car.
Okay.
Well, we have Waymo now.
Yes.
So,
yes,
we do have.
have you been in one yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Do you trust those driverless cars?
Yeah. The world has changed. I mean, I still don't trust auto pay, but I'll trust Waymo.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I like this whole thing. If you can't make it, send a friend.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could take notes of all of your best stuff, and then they could deliver it, to whoever
it's not the
didn't
jokes
make
that we want them to take. It's the knowledge, as the young kids gonna say,
right?
the gems, the nuggets. That's what they say. OG, you're dropping the nuggets. That's what they call me. Basically, in hip hop, they call me the game of God.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I love it.
We got to run.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? That was a whole segment.
No, I can't.
No.
This
I
half hour
appreciate
goes
you
fast.
guys, and thank you for having me. Thank you to the fans, the city, the country, whoever's watching. And my favorite line is, "May your pain be champagne."
Oh,
That's
I like
good.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we got
Enjoy your
thousands watching right now,
Yeah.
streaming with us. So
And hi to your
thank
live
you,
stream,
TK.
too.
Yeah, and
Hey,
follow
y'all.
me at TK_Kirkland.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's important. And if you follow me and you say that you watched me on the show, you can get 2 free tickets to the show on Sunday.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, show the love.
All right. TK, thank you.
Thank you, love.
Yes,
God
have a
bless
great
you.
Friday,
Okay.
everyone.
You too.
Ty and Danielle up next.
Welcome in, you guys. A special edition of Fox 10 Talks at noon. And we're starting right off with Crystal because, look, bright blue skies. But it is baking out there. It's a little hazy.
It's hot, it's hazy, it's humid, and we have increasing storm chances. So we still have our extreme heat warning for today. But honestly, I think the bigger headline is not the temperatures as much as it is that the monsoon is finally going to be arriving at our doorstep. So let's get right to the maps. There's the look on Fox Vision of our current conditions. And you can see there's just a little cluster of storms over near the White Mountains right now. This is just south of Eager that we see just a few little showers and storms that are rolling along. But if we look at south of where that storm is, later today the expectation is that a much larger cluster of storms is going to start to fire off. So already there's a blowing dust advisory for southeastern Arizona because of the expectation that through this afternoon and evening there will be some nastier storms that do kick up some dust. So that's already in place, and that does mean that areas like Tucson and even Pinell County may end up seeing some blowing dust and gusty winds as well. So on our future cast, as we roll the clock along, you'll see the timeline here of those storms continuing to hang over the east edge of the state through like 2 in the afternoon, but then dropping through southeastern Arizona through 10 o'clock tonight, which again is when some of that dust may be kicked up. That's for today, but realistically what I'm more excited about is starting tomorrow, because the pattern starts to shift to more of a east to west flow tomorrow. We'll get a little bit of cloud coverage in the morning. Then as the day goes on, those storms firing off first over the high elevations of, say, Flagstaff, the Mogollon Rim, and down on into parts of the White Mountains as well. But look what happens later in the day and overnight. That moisture tries to trigger a few showers even into the valley, guys. So that does mean that Saturday night into Sunday, we will start to see our chances for storms in the valley, and they only get stronger on Sunday, I believe. So there's the look at the severe storm outlook for today. Just a heads up that when it comes to severe storm threats for today, it's just southeastern Arizona, winds, blowing dust, and some heavy rain. But tomorrow, it's the same general area, the same general threats. And then finally, Sunday is when those threats start to extend up and through Phoenix. So I just want people to be prepared because we haven't really had many monsoon storms yet. But it is getting to that time of year, and it looks like pretty much starting with Sunday, right on through the rest of next week, there will be on and off chances for some strong to even severe storms, including in Phoenix. So
we'll
get
be watching.
Ready.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
This is exciting. Crystal, thank you. All right, some of the top stories we're following for you on this Friday. This is a big one. Look at some of the top stories. President Trump will allow the landmark housing affordability bill to become law, but without his signature on it. The move is a direct protest after Congress resisted his demands to first pass a stricter voter ID and proof of citizenship law.
The 21st Century Road to the Housing Act, which passed with wide bipartisan support, will automatically take effect in 10 days. The White House says the president will not veto the measure despite canceling the planned signing ceremony.
All right, so the other story that we're following, if you're feeling lucky, today's Mega Millions drawing is worth an estimated $604 million. The cash option, $266 million. Nobody has hit the Mega Millions jackpot since March. Tonight's drawing is at 8 p.m. And if you strike out tonight, tomorrow's jackpot, the Powerball jackpot, is worth an estimated $457 million.
It's a lot of money.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
I'll take it,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, this is just fascinating, our next guest here. And we have some researchers at Arizona State University are introducing a new experimental urine test designed to screen for autism in children. So we have Jim Adams, Arizona State University professor and president of Autism Diagnostics Labs. We have Joe Lynn, is it Price Rojas? Yes. I'm sorry. And then we have the Dr. Christina Flynn. I got you. I think I got you all in here.
I know. Yes. And then if you guys could, if you're stepping into the mic, you'll have to be a little bit closer so we can hear you guys. First and foremost, just getting into this, you see this test. A urine test, is this for all children, or when are they doing these tests? I mean, just kind of walk us through it.
Sure. It's a test that can be used for any child. Just collect a simple urine, and that lets us know if they have a major gut infection that's present in 90% of kids with autism.
Okay.
So at what age would you be doing this test?
We've done the study for children ages 2 to 11 years old. We're now testing adults as well, and we think the test might eventually work even down to age 1.
And what exactly is is it looking for? You said it's testing the stomach?
We discovered that most kids with autism have a gut infection, and those gut bacteria and yeast produce chemicals that interfere with normal dopamine and serotonin function in the brain. And then those metabolites come out of the body in the urine where we can measure them. And Christina developed the test with me.
So how did this even come to be? Because you would think, I mean, we always talk about blood tests, and we think urine tests are for a totally different thing. So how did this even come to be?
Urine is my favorite because it's cheap, disposable, and plentiful. I don't want to have to worry about sticking every kid in the arm with a needle, but my goal is ultimately universal screening for autism so that you can close the gap between when treatment actually occurs and when diagnosis can be made.
Yeah.
And the benefits of this are what? I mean, this is probably huge in terms of the research.
Hopefully it will convince parents, first of all, that this isn't their fault. It's a biology-based condition because I can see it in their urine. So they'll seek treatment and seek it early. Ultimately, universal screening would be great, but even if it were only children that were identified with some kind of questionable history, it might serve as a triage tool to move them to the front of the line. Earlier treatment, better outcomes, happier life.
Joe, can we talk about you? Because you were your daughter was one of the first to actually undergo it. Your son, I'm
yes.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
Your son was one of the first to take this test. What was that like to be able to get that diagnosis? I mean, I have a nephew that is on the spectrum, and I know for my sister, it took a while before they were able to definitively get the diagnosis of autism. And this kind of, I guess, speeds up the process, doesn't it?
Well, my son is now 16 years old, and he took the Annisa test when he was 15. So imagine 15 years before that of evaluations and testing and doctors and no real clear understanding of where we were. Mentally, just not knowing what his capabilities were. We were introduced to Dr. Adams, which has been a game changer for us, and he volunteered to do the Annisa testing. On that Annisa test, we realized that Peyton had a severe yeast infection, a dairy and gluten problem that was an allergy, and autistic children are very smart, and even though they're not always verbal, when they see something in black and white and they can understand that it is science, it was a game changer for us. The very next day, I incorporated his physicians with a gluten-free and dairy-free diet. We treated the yeast, and it has changed my life. It's changed my ex-husband's life, his family. It's changed his siblings. But most of all, Peyton, a year later, is a completely different kid.
That's unbelievable.
Dr. Adams, when you find something like this, is there something in particular that would help or treat the symptoms that otherwise you might not be treating because you just don't know if there is that yeast or...
That's right. That's what's so exciting is it's not just that we can diagnose autism years earlier, but it tells us what the problem is. If it's a yeast infection, like it was in the case for Jolene's son, we have medications today that can treat that. If it's a bacterial infection, we've been running several clinical trials of microbiota transplant to take gut bacteria from healthy people, put them into kids with autism. We're now gearing up to raise funds for a final phase 3 study to get it approved by the FDA. So this could become the first treatment FDA approved for the treatment of autism for the kids who have these infections.
When you say treatment, describe what that kind of means when you say treat autism.
Right. So these kids have a major gut infection. So what we do is we give them a special antibiotic to wipe out the bad bacteria, and then we give them gut bacteria from very healthy people, essentially a super probiotic. And that replaces the harmful bacteria with beneficial ones. So now they're no longer making those chemicals that interfere with dopamine and serotonin in the brain. So now the gut problems are largely gone, and they begin talking better. They begin understanding how to better socialize. We've seen on average adults with autism go from severe autism down to mild to moderate autism.
Wow. And ASU, on the forefront I'm assuming
we are the leaders in this. We did the very first study of microbiota transplant. We've now done 5 other studies. So we're now gearing up to do our final studies to get it approved by the FDA. But the exciting part is that this test is now available. Anyone in the country can now order the test from our lab and get an answer. Does my child have a gut infection, or is my child at risk of autism, so they can get a diagnosis years earlier, start behavioral therapy, educational therapy years earlier, but also now treat a medical issue that 90% of them have, this hidden gut infection that's affecting their brain.
Wow. Dr. Flynn, we got about a minute left, but I mean, this is so exciting. And you mentioned the FDA approval. How long do you think this could be before this might actually start to be kind of rolled out across the nation?
Well, FDA approval is tricky for diagnostic tests just because they run out of 2 different agencies. But our product is available right now, as is under CLIA certification, which is not FDA. FDA, I'm looking hopefully at breakthrough designation device status, so maybe 24 to 36 months.
Wow. Well, this is really exciting. Thank you so much for coming in and tell us about this. Keep us posted, will you?
Or do you have more information really quick? Where do people find these tests?
Yeah, so the test is available from our lab, just the website, autismdiagnosticslab.com. Families can order the test in most states.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fascinating stuff. And ASU, of course, always on the forefront of this technology.
All right, our other big news story that we are following for you, the preliminary hearing for Tyler Robinson, continued this morning in a Utah courtroom. Of course, he is the man accused of shooting and killing conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. So today is day 5 of 5 of his preliminary hearing. So we're bringing in Trenton. He has been watching this very closely all week long. And Trenton, any kind of surprises or anything that kind of came out of this final day?
We didn't get anything.
Nothing.
That's what happened.
Surprising.
Yeah.
The final day.
No decision by the judge. We're going to wait till September 1st to find out if this is going to go to a murder trial or not.
Wow. And is this typical for it to take this long to come out with a decision, or should he have come out with a decision today?
Unusual. That's a word I keep hearing from all of our legal experts of why wasn't this established today. Now, the official reason the judge gave was he wanted to give more time for both sides to present their final argument, if you will. This isn't a closing argument, but the final argument about why this should or should not be a murder trial, then make a decision on it. But it doesn't add up with kind of what we've already seen, what they've already presented in court. All the legal documents are there. So,
but not until September will we actually get any type of idea what the judge is thinking?
Yes. So he's going to leave us in suspense until then. We'll have that point. It's a 4-hour hearing scheduled, and but the big thing is we pretty much know how this trial is going to go by the past 5 days. Everything's been laid out, all the evidence and the defense of what they're trying to poke holes in. Today was the big focus on DNA and how that was collected. We did hear that it was collected on the gun, towel, etc., in addition to the screwdriver that we already knew about being up on the roof. Last part that we had where the family is wanting to have their say in it, that's going to be a big part of the trial coming out.
All right.
Wow. We'll be watching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trenton.
Quick break from us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to keep things rolling now at noon on a special edition of Fox 10 Talks. It is the 45th anniversary for the Arizona Lottery, and they are doing something very cool.
Very cool. They are giving their, what would you say, players, I guess we call them? Yeah, the players a chance to win a private concert by one of our hometown favorites.
Dierks Bentley. How cool is this?
Bentley.
So we have Sydney here joining us from the Arizona Lottery. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy to be here.
This is really exciting. So let's start at the very beginning.
Yeah.
How did this kind of collaboration come to be? Like, where did this idea, like, let's try and do something with Dierks?
Yeah, so with the Arizona Lottery, we have been really trying to lean into experiences outside of the ticket. So, it came from just that. So we are partnering with Atlas Experiences to create a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our players to be able to win a private concert with Dierks Bentley. So,
how cool is that?
That is so fun. And so do you just buy a lotto ticket and then you're entered to win, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we have 3 scratchers tickets and then some of our draw games that are eligible to be entered into the contest. And then you can enter those into azplayersclub.com to be able to get into the contest.
So you may win some money and a ticket.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine getting a double whammy like that?
Oh my gosh.
Winning a jackpot and get to go see Dierks Bentley?
I'd be flying a private jet.
It happens.
To go see Dierks.
We don't need to because
it's here.
It's going to be here in our own backyard,
I'm still
right?
gonna fly
the
a
concert
private
will be
jet,
here in
okay?
Arizona.
Yes, it'll be here in Arizona, and it's the experience also includes a private buyout of Dierks Bentley out in Gilbert. So
his bar.
the Whiskey Row.
Yeah.
Whiskey Row, yep.
That is so fun. How did you guys get him involved with this? Obviously, he's our hometown guy.
Working with his team, yeah, hometown guy. So that was something that we were really interested in, bringing Arizona to Arizona. So he's not here right now, but he's going to be here for this concert. So to be able to provide that opportunity for our players was something that we were interested in.
That is
So,
so
Sydney,
fun.
you mentioned that there's certain tickets that you have to buy in order to win.
Yes.
So how do folks know that those are the specific tickets if they're really trying to get that? So even if you're a loser, you could potentially win
Yep. Yes.
a Dierks
So
concert.
both
No, because when you play the lottery, not everybody's a winner,
I know.
Danielle.
Exactly.
You are,
I know.
by definition, a loser if you don't win the lottery.
Both winning and non-winning tickets. We can say that also.
Say
non-winning, yeah. Both winning and non-winning tickets can be
That's
entered
much more
into
PC than calling people losers.
Yeah, so the 3 scratchers we have are the Celebrate ticket that are out right now. We just launched a State 48 scratchers ticket, so that is actually a part of this as well. And then our 4th ticket is our high roller, or sorry, our 3rd ticket is our high roller scratchers ticket.
Okay.
And then so for draw games we've got Powerball, and then all of the pick family is also eligible.
So is there like a code or something that then they would enter from that ticket right into the Players Club?
Yep, scan it in our app or on azplayersclub.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Easy
It's going to be
breezy.
such
Easy
a good
breezy,
concert.
yeah.
I love Dierks Bentley.
And you said
So
there's going to
good.
be 100 winners, though, right?
Yes, we've got 100 winners, and they can all bring a guest, and we will be. They can be eligible to enter those tickets until September 30th. So they've got some time.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. Go out and play.
And about 200 people at a concert.
That's cool.
That's still intimate.
Yes.
That's
And there's also an opportunity for players to win a VIP meet and greet with him. So they got a little bit of wins within the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they get to, I guess, what is it called when you, can they put in requests to Dierks?
You know what? That would be cool. I might be that person.
See if you can make that happen.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Sydney?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Of
course.
And
Thank
for
you.
folks, they want more information, what's the website?
azplayersclub.com.
Easy breezy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, for sure, right?
You can't win if you don't play.
All right.
There you go.
She's said that before.
You got
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Moving right along, you guys. All right, take a look at this. We were talking about this in our last hour. These pythons. This is in Florida. They're doing something called kind of like the Great Python Challenge. It starts today. It runs for 10 days. So we have someone that's going to break down what this is all about.
Yeah, this is crazy. We have been airing this on our show all day, and it is pretty wild out there, I would say. So this Python Challenge starting today, runs for 10 days. It is organized by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the South Florida Water Management District. So joining us now from Florida is Annisa Karim. Am I saying that right?
You are. How are you?
Okay, good. How are you? So walk us through this terrifying
Well,
snake
let
challenge.
me walk you through it, yeah. So the Florida Python Challenge, like you said, is
co-sponsored by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the South Florida Water Management District. And this year we're very excited to have Everglades National Park join us. And it's a 10-day competition to see how many pythons we can remove from our national treasure, from the Florida Everglades.
Okay, so Annisa,
It's really a conservation effort and an educational effort.
So first of all, how did these native species end up in Florida to begin with?
That's a great question. There are multiple entryways, multiple pathways to entry. We probably had a number of pet owners who released their Burmese python and didn't realize that their python comes from a native habitat that's very similar. So, people that don't really know what to do with their pets when their pets have outgrown them and they don't have good plans. So that's part of it, definitely. Burmese pythons, before they were prohibited for import, were imported into the state for many, many years. They're a very popular pet for many years. And so unintentional and probably intentional releases were the main ways that they got in. But now they're doing really well, and we're trying to combat that with this year's Florida Python Challenge.
Now, you say invasive. What are the negative effects of having so many of these around the area?
Sure. That's a great question. So the word invasive basically means that this species has a negative impact on the environment, the ecology, the economy, or health and human safety. And so for us here in Florida, the Everglades, as you know, are an amazing place, a national treasure, a unique ecosystem, and they're impacting the Everglades greatly because they're impacting the native animals that live here basically by consuming them. So pythons eat a lot of food and they're hard to find. And so those two factors combined with their amazing ability to use our ecosystems very well because they're so similar to their native range makes for an invasive creature.
All right, so Annisa, walk me through these teams. Like, who are these python hunters that come to Florida to?
So this is like I said, this is an educational effort, right? So we have professional python contractors, people that are contracted through our agency, FWC, and South Florida Water Management District. So those professional people can enter this contest as professionals. And then we have novices. So we have people from really all over the country. There we have a few participants from other countries as well who come to the Everglades for 10 days to see how many pythons they can catch. We have videos to show them things to look for, things to keep an eye out for. And so really it's two types of people. It's people who really want to get out in nature and maybe help conservation in some way. And then it's people that maybe want to get a little bit of adrenaline, see if they can actually catch a python. So
yeah, and here,
as easy as it looks.
And here we have rattlesnakes. I don't think anyone's going to be out catching those rattlesnakes. Would not recommend that. Are pythons dangerous, or can they harm people? Is this
certainly any animal? You have to know what that animal is all about. So pythons are not venomous like rattlesnakes are, but they are large constrictors. So they can be dangerous. They are constrictors. They can bite also. So we have safe capture demonstrations for opening weekend for people that register for Python Challenge. They can actually go and take an optional safe capture handling class to teach them how to safely capture a python. We want to make sure that people are doing it in a safe manner. And it's not just about catching the python, but being aware of your environment, making sure that you're not around loose gravel or water so that you injure yourself.
So Annisa, it starts today and then ends in 10 days from now. So what are like the prizes? Do the people get prizes for catching the most?
They do actually. We have a whole host of prizes totaling $25,000.
Wow.
So the one person that catches the most snakes at the end of the competition will be rewarded with an ultimate grand prize at $10,000. But then we have other prizes for novices and professionals for the most snakes or the longest snake, certainly.
The longest snake. What is the longest one, Annisa? Do you know off the top of your head that someone has found?
I think in 2023, the longest python captured in the state of Florida was just over 19 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then what happens to these snakes now that they're caught?
So what we do is we ask the participants to turn in their snakes. They have to be humanely killed on site and then turned in at one of our check stations. Then those snakes are given to a third party for independent verification to measure and weigh the snakes. We use that data to let us know about the population as a whole. And the other part of this is that when participants turn in their snakes, they turn in a data form. And that form allows us to know where they were searching, where the snake was caught, and how long it took them to catch the snake. That all goes into an algorithm which helps us understand the way that these snakes use as habitat even more.
Now, do you hope that maybe one day you won't have to do this because the population will kind of automatically, with mitigation processes like this, go down enough that you guys don't have to do this?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the goal, is to put so much pressure on the python population that it isn't an issue anymore. That's going to take a lot of work. The detectability of these animals is incredibly low. So it's less than a 5% detectability rate. They are cryptic. They camouflage themselves really well. And so we use events like this really to educate the public about the complexities of invasive species management, but I would certainly love to work myself out of a job here. I don't want to spend my career catching pythons. I want to do other things too. So yeah, we want to get rid of these things, but we're hoping with more and more efforts, more and more technology, we can really put a dent in the population.
Awesome. Well, Annisa, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
To tell us desert dwellers about what's going on in the swamp. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
All right, Crystal's back. Before we say goodbye, we wanted to do this quick poll because today is National French Fry Day. So we are doing a little informal poll here, asking you what your favorite kind of French fry cut is. Is it the standard, the curly, the tater tot, the waffle, or the wedge?
See, I don't consider a tater tot a French fry, but
oh, now you're really splitting hairs here,
that
Danielle.
might be an unpopular opinion there.
I kind of agree with you, though.
It's kind of its own category.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
This is so hard.
You guys, we're running out of time.
I'm going to do waffle cut.
Okay.
Forget it.
Okay, I'm going to do curly. Oh,
Okay.
standard. Oh, back
I'm
and
gonna
forth.
I'm gonna do standard.
Okay.
But I do love tater tots. So I
love a wedge too.
I know. We love
Listen,
them all.
we love any
Give
potato
us all the
anyway. We don't care. We'll take them, right?
I've never met a potato I didn't like.
That is true.
same.
No
So
matter
good.
au gratin,
Oh, delicious.
Twice
Mashed.
baked.
twice baked, mashed.
Baked.
Now we sound like Forrest Gump. Remember, he's like, "There's shrimp gumbo, shrimp. There's mashed."
Bring us all the potatoes. Carb loading.
All right, we have 30
hash
seconds.
browns.
Do you want to do a quick 10-day?
Sure, pop it up. I'll keep talking about potatoes. 112 today. We're that extreme heat warning. We drop below 110 this weekend, but I'm most excited for storm chances starting Sunday into Monday. But we'll have to watch. On and off chances continue through a lot of next week as well. Once the monsoonal moisture is around, it looks like it's going to hang out for about a week. So keep your fingers crossed that we get some good storms.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Stay safe, everybody.
Fantastic. Well, have a great weekend. We will be back here on Monday.